Guys, sorry this one's a little bit late. I keep getting distracted. Oh, I told you to stop calling me. I'm not Tyler. Leave me alone. Jesus, that guy won't stop wasting people's time.
Y'all ready?
Ew.
DJ the fuck.
Anyway, so this, Tyler's 6th studio album, Call Me If You Get Lost, keeps up his very impressive biennial, and I looked that up and it means every 2 years, streak. Feels like a marriage of the styles that he's been using all the way back to Wolf, but in reality a mix of the energy of Cherry Bomb and Flower Boy fed through a CD burner in DJ Drama's garage and then blasted out from the gleaming deck of a sailboat bobbing off the coast on a sun-drenched Lake Geneva. That sounds wonderful. It's a record that's simultaneously gorgeous and grimy, luxurious and filled with self-loathing. And while it does carry a narrative and an underpinning concept, it uses that to inform the music, rather than having that dominate the whole experience. So yeah, there's a new character here, Tyler Baudelaire, which is essentially just Tyler with the surname of a French poet, but kind of more of a luxurious Tyler, I guess you could say. And the whole piece does tell a story, albeit out of order, of Tyler's relationship with somebody who's in a relationship. I didn't actually pick this up on first listen until the penultimate track, Wilshire, breaks this down in agonising detail. But once you understand what Tyler is talking about, it makes the rest of the tracks make a lot more sense. Specific lines, scenarios and motifs appear in tracks like Corso, Lumberjack and Lemonheads, and pretty much everything else actually, all of which kind of add to this story. But here's the thing, it's not actually a very good story. It's not a great story. By all means, if this is what Tyler has been experiencing and going through in the last couple of years, then I definitely want to hear about it. But it's not exactly a Tarantino thriller, despite the fact it is done out of order.
Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Why the fuck you do that?
And it's also why I actually don't think it's worth too much time fixating on the narrative on Call Me If You Get Lost. I feel like the duality in Tyler's personality here, one part arrogant, flexing rich kid, the other part guilt-ridden and heartbroken husk, told better through the musical choices than the actual storytelling. So for every moment of sun-drenched nautical beauty like on the opening track Sir Baudelaire, or the fabulous, yeah I said fabulous, Hot Wind Blows with Lil Wayne, there's a nastier, more insular track like Lumberjack or Lemonhead. The album's like a scattershot of feelings and emotions, musical ideas thrown together and torn apart, and we're given an outside voice to narrate the whole thing, well kind of, in DJ Drama, whose constant yelling and hype manning has caused its own fair share of drama. Some people can't hack it, they feel like it spoils the songs, and I do get that. I mean, it is literally a man yelling bollocks over these beautifully composed tracks, sometimes obscuring bars, sometimes getting in the way of transitions. However, it reminded me more of the hip-hop that I first cut my teeth on like 20 years ago, listening to Funk Flex mixtapes that I was lent by a housemate of mine back when I was in uni, walking 30 minutes to uni, to college every single day and back. These DJ Drama interludes, if you want to call them that, actually let's just call them DJ Drama yelling a load of shit. It actually reminded me of one of the things that I love about hip-hop, and that is the ecosystem. Let me go on a tangent for a second. As well as the music and the bars and the production and the punchlines, I've always admired the other elements of hip-hop. The radio show freestyles, the online discussions, the features, the remixes. Always been this extra layer over everything that's just not really present in other genres of music. And DJ Drama being on this album like this, it just reminded me of that. Really, I actually barely noticed it on my first listen, which of course you can watch. It just kind of felt like it belonged there. But I do get it if you find it distracting. I mean, it is literally distracting. But it also helps distract from the importance, in inverted commas, of the story, because the story isn't actually that important. I care much more about Tyler telling me about his other crib on Corso, by the way, which has this piano underpinning it that just makes you want to fucking punch the air. It's so good. Or informing us that he has so much self-respect he washes his hands before he pisses on the menacing but actually more personal on a lot of the tracks, Massa. And there's highlights throughout this thing, there really are. In fact, the only track that hasn't connected for me yet is Run It Up with Tizo Touchdown. But I can't feasibly go any further talking about this album without talking about Sweet, I Thought You Wanted to Dance. This near 10-minute centerpiece art is just gorgeous. Brent Fires, who's having a hell of a week by the way, with his Drake feature dropping just 6 days after this whole joint, and Fana Hughes create this stunning summary jam for the first half of the track, the sweet half, before it switches into this reggae tinge pop track. Both parts just feel like they've been dug out from some dusty vinyl crate. I was going to say in your parents' house, but it's more like their grandparents' house, given the sound here. Dig a little deeper, not into the vinyl case, you'll scratch the records, and you can actually see the two sides of the song representing the two moods on the album. The two processes that Tyler Baudelaire goes through as he realises his love will eventually become unrequited. How do we know this? Well, we know this. Well, you know this because I know this because we both listen to Wilshire. I'm not sure about this song, you know. I'm not 100% sure yet. First time I heard it, I thought it was brilliant. You can see on the reaction. 8 minutes of clear, focused storytelling rap over a simple beat, explaining the story of Tyler falling for a girl who had a boyfriend, who was also his friend, and then, well, there's a lot more to the story. Just go and listen to yourself. I'm not here trying to make Wilshire too. But after listening to Wilshire and then going back to the rest of the record, I realised, oh, that's what he means when he says, hoping that you were thinking of me when you're fucking. And I'll find more on future listens because it's a bar-heavy record, and to be honest, you can't hear all the bars all the time because DJ Drama keeps yelling, but I do actually like that. But going back to Wilshire, it's really long. It's really, really long. And it sounds weird in my headphones, actually. Some weird static that doesn't quite work as vinyl crackle. That I can forgive. I grew up listening to cassette tapes that have been recorded over 56 times.
Oh, careful! No, look what you've done.
It's caught on my zip.
Yeah, leave it. Careful.
It's alright, it's just caught on my
Wait,
zip.
it's alright. I've got a trick here.
Yeah, well,
from the 80s. Look.
So it doesn't bother me too much, but can I forgive those self-indulgent near 9 minutes once I've heard it before? I don't know yet. I don't know. I would like to stand here, well actually I'm sat down, as a reviewer and give a definitive opinion, but I don't think I'll have one for a few more weeks, and it might change even after that. What I do know though is that even if I don't end up rating Wilshire, that's not going to change my thoughts on the rest of the album. It's not going to make me enjoy NBA Youngboy's feature any less, who somehow delivers an absolutely joyous refrain on the excellent Wusyaname, or being blown away by Lil Wayne's Godflow on Hot Wind Blows, or Pharrell and Uzi somehow combining beautifully on Juggernaut. Ultimately, this is a record that once again proves that Tyler, the Creator, is one of the most powerful and spellbindingly, I was gonna say creative, imaginative artists in both hip-hop and indeed all music. Guys, I love the record. It gets better every single listen. 9 out of 10. If you don't like that, I suggest getting on a boat. But don't call me if you get lost, not fucking Google Maps. Peace.
Just fed me French vanilla ice cream.